unable to run, you walk. If you're unable to walk, you crawl. But
You
don't
crawl.
stop at one place. Is that approach which we have taken?
I could see that if you're not upgrading, then you're definitely downgrading. You're never constant. So you have to keep crawling. If not running, if not walking, you have to keep crawling.
So I realized that the more transactions, more employability. Always people think that marketing sales people should speak a lot. I tell you, sometimes silence conveys a lot, and silence brings a lot of trust.
Don't go there for wrong reasons. Go there for the right ones. Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of the Alpha Pod with Abhinav. And आज का episode काफी खास होने वाला है दोस्तों, because today the guest is a global marketer, is a person who possesses a unique skill of expertise in sales, marketing, as well as technical expertise. So we have Mr. Diwakar Singh. So sir, how are you first of all? And more importantly, one thing which I would like to say is which fascinates me, I would say, because I see myself as a TEDx speaker down the line somewhere in my career, and you actually have done that. So first of all, I really appreciate and admire you for that. And then a heartily welcome to our podcast. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am doing good. I think, we are in, all of us in this Black Swan event pandemic, but definitely we are all striving with the help of our frontline warriors. They helped us. They have shown their grit, and I think we are moving towards the normalcy. Things have started happening as businesses and the sales are moving again. The physical meetings are started, so we are getting into the action back. Yeah.
So true. So true. Very true. Yeah.
And about the TEDx, actually, see, I have become an evangelist for sales and marketing. Past 20 years, what happened? There is a kind of a demand-driven situation for the technology, and the technology has driving because of the demand, and the rest of the globe was looking at technology resources to automate their processes. So, but I think in the eventually past 15-20 years, we have created enough of the innovation, enough of the technology resources. In the process, little bit of prioritization for sales, marketing, branding, advertising has little took the back step. So I think this is the right time again to get back onto that, our typical aggressive marketing, sales, promotions to platform to explore out the global potential, how the landscape is changing. We have so much of opportunities on the online to explore out the any region business. So my topic was sales prioritization in the contextual time. That was my topic. Yeah.
So, sir, this is a brief info about what you do. But if a layman person is listening to this podcast, so आप उनको कैसे बताओगे who is Mr. Diwakar Singh and what do you do in a normal life? So, if I ask for an introduction, a simple introduction from your side, what would it be?
Yeah, actually, I am a passionate sales professional. I lived my entire career and as a sales professional, started with marketing and then got into the sales. I worked with large corporates like HCL, Zenith, Salesforce, and then I co-founded 2 companies. I sold one company, predominantly the IT services startups into the mobility. And after that, I realized I need to play on my strengths. My strength is because all along I have been a passionate sales user. So I started supporting other platforms who build in terms of technology platforms, innovation platforms, young minds, bright minds. They do a great job, but they need a lot of support to take that product into the market. So what I am positioning myself to a kind of sales coach, sales mentor in various aspects of their product adaptation, sales process from go to market to the entire sales process up till the closing and building the accounts and growing the business. So I'm providing the business growth solutions, majorly focusing on the marketing, sales, and positioning standpoint.
Great, sir. Great. Like it's too much of information for me to gather, but then I am sure that जो भी आप कर रहे हैं वो बहुत अच्छा है. मैं ये जरूर पूछता हूँ that definitely things were going as per plan and then pandemic hit. So काफी चीजें shatter हो गई. All our plans got shattered. Personally, my plans got shattered. Might be the case with you as well. So how did you sustain that period? Like it's still continuing, I know that. But then still वो जो एक harsh period था, जो hard period था for businesses, for jobs, for anything which whatever you are doing. तो आपने कैसे वो sustain करा? आपने कैसे अपने आप को वहाँ पे mindset अपना change करा, and how did you grow from there?
Absolutely. I think this is a challenging time for everyone because usually we have projections and we will be having like jolly well happy go kind of a
हाँ.
situation we will be going in the market, but because we have a projection, okay, monthly I'm going to do, yeah, my conversion ratio is 30%, 35% maximum I hit, I am a performer, all that we have because it is all the time is giving the permission for us to do all that. One
Totally.
need to realize that you need to be very very kind of flexible and scalable in this kind of a situation. So we learn certain techniques to know to improvise. More learnings is required. You need to immediately implement a three-dimensional plan. One is that you have to improve the skills because your skills
Right.
are not sufficient. You have to quickly reskill yourself. And second thing is that you have to increase the reach increase. You have to have within the current assignment what you are doing. If you are a professional, you have to immediately put a lot of effort. The effort, I think what you are doing, it is not sufficient, so you have to increase 200% effort. And the third dimension is that you should be open, also looking for alternative options. If your industry is into a high impact industry, what we call, even if you improve skills, even if you improve your kind of a reach increase and more efforts, if because that industry is a highly impact industry, there is nothing going to happen. You should be open to change. You should
Wow.
be bring that situational intelligence, situational leadership to ensure that I will not fight for I think something which is not going to happen, and then I feel demoralized. Another thing you need to be so three-dimensional approach which you need to bring. Large companies do that. For your information, I quickly used one example that Rolls-Royce is a world largest brand, has started producing the honey in the pandemic using their infrastructure, what they have for manufacturing. So that's the kind of a scalability and flexibility resources should have. I think we had that kind of an expertise. But when it comes to the black swan event of our pandemic corona, this is completely unimaginable, unexpectable. Like whole world got stuck. I'll tell you one experience in the month of April 2020. It has taken for me to get three positive responses after having so much of experience, 150 calls with the curated target prospects. It was the highest, it was the highest effort to get three positive responses because
Wow.
that was at least the minimum the companies were expecting who I signed up. So just imagine, sit at one place at home, at least 8 to 9 hours, you continue to research and create a curated, customized pitch and speak to them. Even then, they are not interested because their mindset is somewhere. It is not in the kind of transactional mode to discuss anything. So these conditions we have seen, but I think by enhancing effort with the support of the partners and with our support, because we already have the clientele base in our list because of the experience what we have, some of the clients helped us, we could move out of those conditions. And then I think after 2 3 months from September onwards, the things have come into the and we quickly
Kind of normalized, I would say.
normalized, and we quickly brought the online end-to-end online sales process, what we call contactless sales process, which I speak, that we implemented. Somehow we added a lot of value-added services to the existing customers because what happens, you new client acquisition will become difficulty, but when you go to the existing customers with a same customer with additional service offering, some value-added service offering, then there is a kind of attraction. So that at least you sustain revenues. See, these conditions you have to sustain. Once you sustain, the moment market gets open, you are going to get a lot of opportunities. So ensure that somehow slowly, if you're unable to run, you walk. If you're unable to walk, you crawl. But
You
don't
cry.
stop at one place. Is that approach which we have taken? And I think with all the support and with the blessings of God, we are all moved to the next stage. All my partners are happy, and we are moving ahead in that direction.
Very true, very true. Because all of it, all I can, if I can recollect your points, whatever you came up with, I could see that if you're not upgrading, then you're definitely downgrading. You're never constant. So you have to keep crawling. If not running, if not walking, you have to keep crawling. So in that way, keep on building upon your skills, because skill-based learning is the best form of learning. After pandemic, I have also realized that I was not good at some things, but then I started taking up courses. I started developing those skills, and somewhat down the line, after 10 to 12 months, I can see that those skills are paying me off. So definitely skill based learning बहुत important हो जाती है ऐसे aspect में. And then change, like only thing that is permanent is change, I would say, because वही एक कहावत है जो एक बोला जाता है, it's a proverb that change before change, otherwise change will change you. So pandemic came there because हमें change होना था. It was kind of required. I'm not going into the positives of the pandemic, but definitely कुछ चीजें हैं जो निकल के आई हैं that have turned out to be good in terms of our careers, in terms of our mentality, mental aspect, how we are thinking, how we are taking up the life forward. So yeah, thank you, sir, for those insightful points. And so yeah, let's move ahead to the next segment, that is what motivates you, sir? Because it's been years you are into this field, and I've heard you on Clubhouse as well. I've heard your experiences over here as well. So you are a person who comes up with experience, who has definitely some sort of an experiential learning, because there are people who keep on blabbering, but there are people who come up with experience. So I see you as a person who's has the experience, maybe both ups and downs in the field of sales, marketing, and everywhere. So what keeps you motivated? I'm sure there have been times जहाँ पे आपको लगा होगा that what am I doing, or what is that one sale which will like change up my things. So how you keep yourself motivated? Because I'm in a field of content creation. There are ups and downs everywhere. So मेरे चीज भी कुछ हैं जो मुझे intact रखती हैं in whatever I'm doing. So what is that one thing, or maybe two thing, couple of things that keeps you motivated in sales?
Yeah, absolutely. What you're asking is right. Uh, because it's a sales is a challenging job, and after doing
Yeah.
some time, I think that people would like to be moving into any other comfortable family, also be happy, and everybody like this carrying target on your head and the gunpoint always. If you're not reaching your numbers, you are at a gunpoint. So you have to lose. I mean to say gunfight in the sense you have to lose the position and downgrade it or leave the company and all that.
Hmm.
I'll tell you, there is very interesting perspective. As everyone, I have started like a typical say sales executive or marketing executive. But I think as I was going into the ladder, I was bit passionate, and I was first thing what I learned is that first time I started my career at 19th year. And when I've gone to promoting my products, so what I realized is that even you get any valuable product, it is really delivering value to the customer.
Hmm.
Customer have lot of objections. He will not accept the way you are telling. First learning was that I am giving such a beautiful product, which you are, I think, I will refer the product also. It is the phone we used to dial, right? That dialing phone in the Hindi movies and Bollywood movies, you find, right?
Yeah.
With finger will drive. Till now, that vintage phone is there.
Yeah.
So I was with Bharati Telecom partner, channel partner, replacing the dialing phone with the dialing phone with the push button phones. Okay, the Bharati Telecom. So it is absolutely a great product. Easily you can push button and you can connect. It looks nice. I thought why people will not buy. But I think the kind of a questions, and whenever we are going for replacement, they're asking if somebody dials it, who will take care? It is looking like this. Will it work? And what is the lock position for this? If we have a lock system for so then I realized, yes, we need to be handling objections. Many of the youngsters who are coming from the innovation background, tech background, they also have the same question in their mind. When I'm doing such a great thing, why people are not adapting? I'm telling they need to realize first thing is that whatever you do, however best solution you create, it is going to be there is going to be objections, and you have to learn the objection handling, and you have to know well in advance. that these are the going to be the probable objections, and you have to curate your pitch as such. Okay, so now I'll come back to the question you asked. So while I'm going in that professional front, one day I went to a Safe Express, one place where all our material hardware, I was with a hardware company, a
Mm-hmm.
leading hardware company that time. So for a release of some material, I went there. We as a salespeople, we never go to the godowns, and we always be consumer facing. And but I think for some clearance, I went. And when I went in the godown, I have seen the entire godown is filled with the computer systems. And the person said, "Sir, you are the person, sir. Your all these numbers are from you." So I really felt, I think, yes. And then I've seen there are so many people working, bringing products from Goa. We have a manufacturing plant from Goa. So I have seen so many people are involved in keeping into the vehicles, unloading, loading, and all those things. Then I realized, see, if I trigger a 10 lakh rupees contract, okay, somewhere somebody sitting without work will get a call to get into the work. So I realized that the more
Wow.
transactions, more employability, okay. I also got employed just like that. Like, if somebody started entrepreneurship with a lot of interest, and they wanted resource, they are growing, they want to add resource. I got an employment. I made my living, lived my passion. I worked with companies. I traveled across the globe. I did millions of kind of a contractual agreements. I happen to deal with global customers. If somebody have not that interest of, like, making something new, or many people, it will impact employability. So then I realized it is not only for me. I am closing the deals. Whenever I close the deal, a transaction, and when I that hit into my mind, I have seen practically every time I am closing a deal, it is not only because of the deal, how many numbers are required, that triggers a very positive emotion into the promoters of the company, the management of the company, the entrepreneurs, to reinvest more money to grow the business. So that is where I got caught, and I started thinking that, yes, if I make one more call extra, it is going to be helpful for many people. If I close this now, okay, my next call may be a closer. So when I bring this kind of a perspective, and also trained a lot of resources, and they became passionate resources, understanding this, yeah, when I do, it is not only closing the myself the day, but I also leaving little more possibility for some other people to get an employment. So that is the key
Wow.
driver, yeah, emotional connect which I have. And I am also speaking this in all my forums. Next call, you're thinking you're closing, probably the other call you're picking up and talking to the customer is a closer. So have that positive perspective, hit the one more and see the result, and you'll come back to me. That's the kind of a motivation which drives. And we need more sales warriors. We need more passionate salespeople. They
Great.
aggressively moving into the market. We'll have more employability. That is the key driver for my passion.
So true, and it's kind of very motivating to see a different kind of a different dimension and perspective altogether about sales. Because sales के लिए एक notion होता है that a person is coming and he has to fulfill his or her targets, and he'll do that. He'll do that to sell anything. He might lie as well, because that is a common notion. आप समझते होगे in a sales, because I have also been involved into technical sales when I was working with Ashok Leland. So I was there with technical sales, and people think that if he's coming to sell something, that means he's conning. He's lying about something, even if the product is nice, but people consider कि यार ये कुछ तो झूठ बोल रहा होगा. He has some personal motive over there. And to know your personal motive, personal thing that motivates you, that is to drive employability, to see the positive impact about that in your team members, that's kind of really motivating. That completely changes the dimension of the sales, why you are doing it. And that is why I guess that is your passion, and that is how you are following it. So that's really amazing, and that should be that way, I guess,
Yeah.
for anyone. If more and more salespeople come in and pitch in and want to actually, because this is a message for all the young people who are wanting to go into sales and marketing, ki don't go there for wrong reasons, go there for the right ones. So this is one such reason. Thank you, sir. Now we are nearly to the end of the podcast. We have discussed quite a lot about all of the sales process and whatever you are doing. Now I would ask ki हमें ये बोला जाता है that यार sales is a talent, it is a this that involved talent, he's extrovert so he can be good at sales, this and that. So what is your take on this final thing, because this is something which has come to me. So people say अरे तू extrovert है, तू अच्छा रहेगा यार sales में, तू अच्छे से बेच लेगा, right? But then people don't realize there is something else. Apart from being extrovert, you have to have something else, and I would love to hear that from you. So my basic question is कि अगर किसी को सेल्स में आगे जाना है या सेल्स में कुछ अच्छे से करना है, सो इज दैट ओनली एक्सट्रोवर्ट वाली स्किल काम करती है, इज दैट एन इनबॉर्न टैलेंट, और इट इज अ स्किल व्हिच कैन बी डेवलप्ड व्हेन यू गेट इनटू दीस थिंग्स?
Yeah, I think, see, I'll tell you, the sales is perceived in the society like an always it is somebody pushing something to you, somebody
यस.
giving some product, and he's coming to take out money from your end.
या.
Actually, every marketing person, a salesperson, should go with an intention that he is actually solving a problem. He
यस.
should be, he's the problem solver. He is not a
वाओ.
marketer or trying to speak more, and nobody is. So you are going, you identified a problem of a customer and you went there to solve the problem. You have to behave like that. Sir, this is the my product which will attribute to you with your current challenges and current revenue obstacles and growth obstacles. I'm going to provide you, so that is, should be the value addition. You are all you valued resources. And most of the people do the hard push. Extrovert or introvert, actually, I'll tell you, there is nothing much to speak. Always people think that marketing sales people should speak a lot. I'll tell
यस.
you,
यस.
sometimes silence conveys a lot, and silence brings a lot of trust rather than you speak.
वेरी ट्रू.
So there is nothing like introvert. But one thing, what we say that we have a in sales process, if you divide, there are 4 steps. One is opening, second one is demonstrating capabilities, third one is obtaining commitment, and fourth one is closure. So now opening is that probably may require a kind of little extrovert, quickly go and stir and this and all to introduce yourself. And but I think you have emails, you have audio calls, and so many things are there. That is okay. Anybody can do it now. Demonstrating capabilities is something, the product or service which you are promoting or solution, you should have a complete knowledge and you have to elevate it in a right perspective that how customer is looking to perceive it. It is to be customized way of demonstrating. Now the point comes which you are said, the obtaining commitment is that it is the trust level. You have to be the preferred vendor of every client. So even other people give you the product, that person should have some emotional connect with you. Hey, Avinash, everybody has given you, but if you can match the price, if you can give me the superior quality solution, I would like to go with it. This is the quality which you need to improve. And you have to be very attentive in the conversations. You have to connect emotionally. You have to convince. 90% they evaluate a product or purchase logically, but the 10% emotional connect is the key driver for the finalization and the contract signing. So ensure that the obtaining commitment is a great process step in the sales process. And then the closing is something, it needs a lot of leadership skill. You need to take a call. You should know that what time you can say no. Sometimes you must have put in a lot of effort, but you should know that this is not a right deal. I'm going to put my company in the problem. So you should say that, thank you so much. But you should also take a decision if it is a risk mitigation. Whatever decision you're taken to sign the contract with the customer, you should stand on the decision courageously. That's where the closing is always a leadership quality. Use kind of an expertise is required for the closing a contract and then still getting the customer satisfaction.
So thank you, sir, for coming. I guess this is a conclusion for our podcast. If you have any sort of concluding thoughts, how did you feel? Did you enjoy it? Or maybe I was not that good enough to ask the questions. You can come up with your inputs. आपके concluding thoughts कुछ भी हो इस podcast को लेके.
Absolutely. I think, the way the entire interview session was going on, the kind of an acumen and the questions you're asking, absolutely right questions. I think, I hope I answered all it in the right perspective.
Yeah,
But
brilliant.
my closing comment is going to be a one-liner, which I'm going to say that always people say that he's a go-getter salesperson. Before you become go-getter, become go-giver. Go-giver. Then you
Wow.
become, if you start giving that value to your customer somewhere in a small permeable way, start go giver, and then you will emerge as a go getter. That's my final line.
Actually, that applies to life as well. Like I can relate it to life as well. This in terms of sales, definitely it makes sense. But when you look at the bigger picture, कि हम सबको बहुत कुछ चाहिए. Like we need a lot of things, but we are not ready to give that, right? If we know something, we have that knowledge. You are at a stage where you can guide people. You are doing that. But if a person is at a stage, but he is having that sort of a ego clash कि नहीं मुझे देना नहीं है. I just have to build in, take, and all about the finances and stuff. But he's not ready to give. So after a point, he might stagnate. So वो चीज होती है. I also believe in giving, first giving and then receiving. So that is an amazing point, sir. Ending note इससे अच्छा कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. And I truly loved the conversation which we had because the amount of experience, the amount of learning I got, डेफिनेटली दैट वाज अबव माय एक्सपेक्टेशंस. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मेरे पॉडकास्ट में मैं अगर सीख जाऊं, सो दैट इज द बेस्ट थिंग आई कैन गेट फ्रॉम माय पॉडकास्ट. एंड डेफिनेटली द पीपल हु आर लिसनिंग एंड वाचिंग दिस वीडियो ऑन यूट्यूब, उनको भी काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला. सो गाइज आई विल जस्ट से वन थिंग, एक यूट्यूबर के नाते, कि अगर यूट्यूब पे आप ये देख रहे हैं तो प्लीज लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू दिस वीडियो, दिस पॉडकास्ट. आई लिंक ऑल द डिस्क्रिप्शंस, ऑल द थिंग्स ऑफ मिस्टर दिवाकर सिंह इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. तो आप वहां पे जाके उनके लिंक्स, उनके इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल, उनके क्लब हाउस हैंडल को चेक कर सकते हैं. ही इज अ beautiful orator. He comes up with some really good clubs over there on Clubhouse. और वहीं से हम मिले हैं. I have had one conversation with him, and then maybe because of links we got here together. And so yeah, please check him out. He is doing an amazing work. And सब कुछ आपको मिल जाएगा डिस्क्रिप्शन में. बाकी अगर आप कहीं और सुन रहे हैं on all audio platforms, please follow the Alpha Pod with Abhinav. We try to come up with other different niches every week. So हम अगले हफ्ते भी आएंगे. इस हफ्ते के लिए इतना ही. Thank you for listening up to this point, and we'll see you next week. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Jai Hind.